Fall Guys is a very interesting game. It started off really hot and had a lot of players at launch and then fell off for right around a year for it to then rise again to the occasion and be one of the top games on the market. Why is this, you might ask? Well, in this video today, we're going to be answering those questions while we go over the rise, fall, and rise again of Fall Guys. So let's go ahead and first talk about the rise. I think one of the key factors in Fall Guys succeeding in the first place was quarantine and people being stuck inside and being separated from a lot of their friends and family, depending on if you were out of state or something like that. And people wanted games that they could just play with their friends and have a very casual but fun competitive experience. Fall Guys took the competitiveness of a battle royale being the last man standing and combined it with fun enjoyment you'd get out of watching a show like Wipeout back in the day. This led to a very unique gaming experience that we really haven't seen in the gaming market, where you can have a very competitive styled mode be very casual. Fall Guys akins back to games like Mario Party or Mario Kart, where it's just focused on having fun in a very casual environment where you have winners and losers still. Another reason for Fall Guys' initial success was the game was fairly cheap at only 20 USD, which is fairly cheap for most games in the market being $60 experiences, and the $20 experience gave you a lot of fun and enjoyable experiences. I'd say probably the last factor that I would go ahead and include in this is Fall Guys has a very colorful and kid-friendly type of vibe and charm, and it kind of takes you back to being a kid and playing a casual game with your friends. It also helps make the game very accessible, so adults are less likely to tell their kids no when purchasing this game. Overall, Fall Guys was a pretty good product for what it was, but it did end up falling off a cliff after the first month or two of success that the game had. The main issues that plagued this game was overall development costs, and this is something that will get remedied a little bit later on, but also a $20 price tag in a free-to-play market is, it's still cheaper than a $60 product, but it is still a free-to-play dominated market where people have been expecting most games to just be free nowadays. Another reason why Fall Guys had a fall off is there was limited map variety. Even for a $20 product, the map variety was pretty solid, but after you've played the game for about 5 to 6 hours, you've really experienced most of what there is to experience, which would lead to players getting tired of the game and then just simply moving on. Another big reason that Fall Guys ended up falling off is the game was not crossplay, which had basically become a staple of most modern games nowadays. Warzone does it, Halo does it, Fortnite has been doing it since 2017, and so this game not doing it was a little unacceptable by most people's standards, which ended up isolating a lot of the player base into 3 different areas. This problem would also get remedied later on, but it did end up hurting Fall Guys' initial success. The last point that I'd like to go ahead and bring up is that this game really did just explode out of nowhere, and streamers were playing it all like crazy and stuff like that, and after those streamers had really experienced everything that the game had to offer, they all started to go off and to play other games, which took a lot of the people who would be exposed to the game or those who had been playing it only because a streamer was playing it, and those players would then in turn move on and play something else. So the game was a trend type of game where it followed a lot of viewers and things like that and kind of fell off because of that, which isn't necessarily the game's fault, but there's a few different factors besides that also contributed to it. Like the title says, there wasn't just a fall, there was also again a rise again. As of the last month or two, Fall Guys has come back kind of into the popular spotlight of current games, and there's a few different reasons for this. The first point that I would like to go ahead and bring up is that Epic Games actually ended up purchasing the development studio and the rights to Fall Guys, which gave them access to make development choices and things like that the original crew couldn't have made, and give them the funding that they needed to get things done. One of the big notable changes that I'd like to go ahead and bring up is that they were actually able to have a proper marketing budget this time. Epic was able to get streamers and influencers to promote this game, which in turn brought a lot of attention back to the game. I want to say that there was even a TV ad or something like that, but I can't remember. My mind's a little fuzzy about that part. Also, with more funding, they were able to add features like crossplay, which has made the game so much more enjoyable, and it makes it way easier to find lobbies and to overall play with your friends and have a much more enjoyable experience overall. This feature in particular was a big reason I actually stopped playing Fall Guys back in the day, so this feature being here now has made me play it a little bit more. They also added a lot more maps and modes and new items and things like that, so there's like volleyball mode now. There is a few stinker modes still, like the tail tag one. I'm not a huge fan of that one, but overall they added a lot more stuff and the game feels pretty fresh and almost feels like it's brand new. They also added a battle pass, which adds a lot more progression to the game, which gives people more of an incentive to actually grind their level and things like that, which is a plus plus in my book. But the last and probably most notable change that they added is that they made the game free to play for everyone. So that means no matter which platform you're on, you're going to be able to play with your friends, and you're going to be able to do it for free without having that initial cost barrier. Now, they have done a few different collabs like with Halo and Assassin's Creed. I think that's cool, but they are locked behind a paywall, which is a little bit disappointing. But I think overall this is a good change that has made Fall Guys a proper staple in the gaming market. Now, I don't think Fall Guys is a game that's going to compete with the absolute top games in the market, but it has carved out its own specific niche in the gaming market that no one else has really seemed to fulfill at this point. I don't personally believe Fall Guys will ever return to the lowest of the lows that it's had, because it has gone free to play and has crossplay with all your friends and all other consoles. So this game has really carved out a specific spot just for it. And with that all in mind, this was the rise, the fall, and the rise again of Fall Guys. If you all enjoyed this video today, check out my previous review of Elden Ring. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love that one. And that's all I've got for this video, guys. Stay hydrated. We will see you in the next video. Peace out, boys.